Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Baldur's Gate 3 und wohl dem Epilog. So, dann quatschen wir erstmal mit unserem Schatzi.
Didn't expect to be nervous, but seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it?
Huh.
I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
Mit eurem Rücken ist alles in Ordnung, glaubt mir. Ich sehe regelmäßig nach.
Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas?
Langweil? Die erlöste Balbrut und ihre exquisite Liebe? Nie und nimmer. Ich werde wieder in meine alten Muster verfallen. Wenn ich auch nur ein unterdrücktes Gehen sehe.
There are friends, dear. Let's spill nothing but wine tonight. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else.
Ja klar, was ich wirklich brauche.
That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet.
Okay, wir vergessen die Party.
Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right. I could get lost in those arms.
Ich bin bald zurück. Viel Spaß.
With music in the air and wine flowing, I think I'll manage. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
Kratzer! Er
There's
hat...
something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it?
Ich bin froh, dass Lazarus daran gedacht hat, meinen Lieblingsgefährten einzuladen.
Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement. He seems excited in a way you recognize. He wants you to throw the object he's cropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism.
Bei allen Höllen, wo hast du das denn gefunden, Jungchen?
He whines. Let's talk, more throw.
Alles klar, alles klar, alles klar. Kriegen wir hin. Komm her. Wo ist das Ding? Nicht da?
Withers can pluck wine from all over the world, but is there one bottle of fresh blood?
Du hast nichts dabei zum Werfen? Das ist doch... Ja. Danke dir. Habe ich jetzt noch Schuhe? Ne, ne? Die sind weg, ne? Habe ich meine Schuhe weggeworfen. Und er hat sie gefressen. Ist klar. Hey, Volo.
Now, it's the star of the show. Our humble protagonist who forsook Baal to save the city. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Wie wunderbar euch zu sehen, Volo. Wie ist es euch ergangen?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
Das könnt ihr noch besser, nicht wahr?
Oh, terribly sorry, but you mistake me, my friend. I'm only accepting complimentary feedback at this time.
Okay.
Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Jaira.
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Ah. Ich hab euch vermisst, Jaira.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh?
Es ist ein Drecksloch, aber es ist unser Drecksloch. Ich würde es nicht anders haben wollen.
Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer.
Na,
Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
Alles gut und schön, aber was ist mit euch? Ich will wissen, was ihr getrieben habt.
There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. But I see the flush in your cheeks when I speak of family. Perhaps you mean to start one of your own.
Das ist schwierig.
I don't want to watch over a blood match where the duelists call me auntie. Just be careful, Bowspawn.
Ich will keine Blutspiele aus. Den die Duellanten mich Tantchen nennen. Seid vorsichtig, Baldur. Tantchen ausgeschlossen. Ihr schreibt doch schon euren eigenen Kindern kaum je zurück. Man wird euch Jahira nennen.
All right, Bal child. It is true you are no longer what you were. You have done well for yourself.
Thank you.
For all your travels. I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Schattenherz ist meine Heimat.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
You see, Boo? I told you our friend was near.
Karlach!
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Withers, you mad bastard! You brought me back! Soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, you old bull spawn. Oh, do you not want me to call you the B word anymore?
Ich habe immer noch meine Balhorde beisammen. Eine Armee von Duftkerzen und Badesalzen.
Please tell me you're opening a bathhouse in the gate. When I get out, I'm gonna need to soak for years to wash off the stink of Avernus. It's been tough, keeping myself alive. But having Will around has been incredible. Fucker's even better at killing devils than yours truly. We don't have much time to chat, but just knowing he's there makes all the difference. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus. You
Cool.
haven't seen the last of old Karlach yet, soldier.
Bekomme ich eine Umarmung?
Always.
Jetzt hat sie blaue Flammen.
I won't be in Avernus forever, you know. Can I look you up when I'm out?
Ja, klar. Das will ich doch hoffen.
Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here, together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
Asterion, mein Freund und Kupferstecher. Oh, du hast dir wieder was angezogen?
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And I must say, for someone who had to face down a dark god, you seem to be doing remarkably well. What have you been up to? No relapses, I hope? Well, I am glad it's been going well. Not that I was worried, of course. I knew you'd have this under control. But I am glad to see you doing well. I'm glad to see us all doing well, in fact. Things turned out rather nicely in the end.
Und ihr? Was habt ihr so getrieben?
I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It
Echt?
turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Asterion, einer der Guten? Wer hätte das gedacht?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
Ihr wirkt glücklich. Habt ihr wirklich kein Blut getrunken?
No, this is all me. I swear. Don't get me wrong. I was a mess at first. Every day I yearned for the sun and mourned my curse to live in the shadows. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Das freut mich zu hören. Akzeptanz steht euch gut.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss
Besser
our
nicht.
time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Finde ich gut. Ey, Alhazan, ich brauche einen Samenspender.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
Das beruht auf Gegenseitigkeit. Ihr habt mir gefehlt.
We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Die Zukunft gehört uns. Wer weiß, was wir noch teilen werden.
You are right, of course. I am accustomed to dwelling on the past, even when it brought me nothing but unhappiness. You changed that, and gave me the most precious of memories. Now the task is to make yet more of them, so that each reunion shall be all the sweeter. And who's to say we need to make such gatherings a rare occasion? My hearth is yours to warm yourself beside always. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Ihr zuerst, Helden. Ich will von eurem Leben hören und von den Leuten, denen ihr geholfen habt.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Ist das Gleichgewicht, nach dem ihr gesucht habt?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of.
Ich bin froh, dass ihr glücklich seid.
As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
Gut, mal sehen, was ich tun kann.
I am all ears. though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Hältst du denn eine Detektivgeschichte
A
jetzt?
touch bleak, perhaps, but considering the amount of orphans in my audience, I'm sure they'll manage. I can make something palatable with a little showmanship and creative license. Thank you. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Darf ich eine Umarmung haben?
I was just thinking the very same. Your embrace makes me feel safer than any armor could.
Erzählt mir von Daniel und Oliver. Seht ihr sie oft?
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned.
Ihr streift sicher noch gern in Bärengestalt umher.
I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
Ihr scheint beständiger als gedacht. Ich hätte das für gegen eure Natur gehalten.
As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
Und der Hain? Seid ihr mit dem noch verbunden?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
Cool. Ja, komm.
Nor would I.
Du musst Schattenherz und mir hier mal besuchen. Ja, ist gut, Mesekin. Beast.
You are more intoxicating than any fare this gathering has to offer. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
Ihr seid eine sehr gemütvolle Person, wisst ihr das?
Oh, I am well aware, trust me. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on, enjoy the festivities.
Geschnitzte Ente haben wir gekriegt.
Enjoying yourself, I hope.
Ja, es ist schön, alle zu sehen.
I know. I'll have to stop myself from getting teary-eyed when it's time to say goodbye again. Let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should revolve around an excess of carousing and questionable dancing. Why, I feel better already.
Why is the night air always sweeter?
Gale?
There you are.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Komm her, du. Da ist die Katze.
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Keine Sorge, ihr seid ein ausgezeichneter Lehrer. Ich spreche aus Erfahrung. Da.
So you still remember our little lesson? It was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your friendship had come to mean to me. As it still does. Teaching you was hardly an effort at all. Not like my present cohort of apprentices. Oh, they try their best, of course. When they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Ich habe die Liebe meines Lebens gefunden. Ich würde sagen, ich bin ziemlich glücklich.
And I couldn't be happier for you. A fitting reward for the sacrifices you made in getting here. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'll have plenty of questions for you.
Vielleicht können Schattenherz und ich gemeinsam
I
dozieren.
don't see why not. Two heads are better than one.
Ja.
Unless you're dealing with an Etin. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Hello. Ein Gruß von Tara? Womit habe ich diese Ehre verdient?
You helped Mr. Dakarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
Ja. Wenn er euch das gesagt hat, wie sollte ich da diskutieren?
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius. He'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
Das würde mir gut gefallen. Danke für die Einladung.
We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta.
Tata.
Darling.
Da bin ich ja froh, dass ich die Katze nicht umgelegt habe. Ist ja in Ordnung. So. Volo, Helsen, Jahira.
Scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these. God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and
Truhe
a stale
dankbarer
loaf of
Worte.
bread just to get by.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich da was dran verloren habe. Ey, Holzkopf.
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our old friend.
Auch schön euch zu sehen, Minsk.
Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began to wonder if he was some blind bug who had only dreamed himself to be large and bulksome. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell.
Zelle?
Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover.
Ihr wart eingesperrt? Weswegen?
Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters.
Aha.
The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly, so Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle.
There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of head wound. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no?
Was? Versuchen dem Holzkopf das mal zu erklären. Hör mal, die Zentarim sind jetzt Friedenswächter in der Stadt Minsk. Damit müsst ihr leben.
The Zent may keep their peace, so long as Minsk may keep his steel. We shall see which is the first to shatter, But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling of tales. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky?
Ich habe euch alle vermisst, um ehrlich zu sein.
No, no, my friend. It is not yet time for tears and passing Boo around for the wiping of eyes. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself presentable. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Wer ist denn da oben am Trällern? Wer ist das?
Perhaps the bard knows some of my favorites. Unless my taste in music is too antique, of course.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice
Well.
vintage.
Haben wir noch Zeit für Will?
Why were we scrounging?
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Mhm. Super. War ja klar, dass ich auch noch mal würfeln muss.
You take a deep breath, but you don't notice anything beyond the ordinary.
Ich rieche Schwefel. Furchtbar. Seid ihr das?
By the good gods. How bad do I reek? Ugh, shit. Dried devil's blood. Stinks like a skunk squatting in an aboleth's corpse. No wonder. Karlak and I have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlak can fill you in.
Ja, ich kenne es schon. Wie seid ihr ohne eure Hexenmeisterkräfte zurechtgekommen?
I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself.
Hattet ihr Gelegenheit, euren Vater zu besuchen?
I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
Ich habe das Reisen mit euch vermisst. Ihr wart eine sehr angenehme Gesellschaft.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Gut. So, jetzt haben wir, glaube ich, mit allen gequatscht. Ich weiß nicht, wer der Bade da oben ist. Ich weiß nur, ja, Folge ist rum. Ich weiß nicht, wie lange das hier noch so geht. Aber ich sag mal, ich bedanke mich fürs Zusehen. Und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, bye.